I'd like to call to order the mayor and town council work session for September 2nd, 2025. In the Worcester County Government Center boardroom 1102. Take a look at your agenda. Number 1, statement reporting on the closed session of August 21st, 2025. So I will read that now. Closed session was held on August 21st, 2025. That began at 1:05 p.m. and was held at 309 North Washington Street, Snow Hill, Maryland, 21863. The purpose of the closed session was to consult with counsel to obtain legal advice and to consult with staff, consultants, or other individuals about pending or potential litigation under General Provision Articles 3-305B number 7 and 30-305B number 8. Members who voted to meet in closed session include Council Member Lee, Council Member Fletcher, and Council Lumpkins. All in attendance for the closed session were Mayor Simpson, virtual, Council Member Fletcher, Council Member Lee, Council Member Lumpkins, Town Attorney Maureen Howard, Town Attorney Rick Pollitt, Police Chief McGee, and Administrative Coordinator Candace Ringaneri. The topics actually discussed were legal consultation with legal counsel regarding a potential matter. Councilmember Fletcher made a motion to adjourn, and Councilmember Lumpkins seconded the motion, and the closed session ended at 1:57 p.m. All were in favor of adjournment. Okay, number 2, proposed mutual aid agreement among Worcester County law enforcement agencies. That document is in your packet. And Keith, would you like to speak to that and kind of tell us, summarize what's going on with that one?
Certainly. So in years past, when we would need the assistance of a outside agency, or they would need our assistance through the outside agency, there was a set of protocols that the agencies had to follow. That would be an MOU with the sheriff's office. If they requested our assistance, we had to go through the sheriff's office to leave the town limits. Vice versa, if we were calling for Pocomoke to come up here to assist us, the request had to come through the central dispatch center, which would have been through the sheriff's office. What the state's attorney has proposed in this MOU is to put everybody on the same page, with the exception of Ocean Pines, which is not considered a municipality in the county. And in regards, it just streamlines the process that if Pocomoke calls for help or the sheriff's office calls for help, we can respond. Now, keep in mind, we can respond if we have the manpower to respond. It doesn't mean we have a blank check just to go anywhere in the county. There has to be a specific request for us to go to whatever that call for service is. This does not preclude the blessing of the combines, July 4th, Pocomoke City Christmas Parade, Ocean City Parade. Anytime they request our resources, that's done through a letter to me or through the mayor asking for that. This is for exigent circumstances where something happens and they need an immediate response. Our officer or officers can respond to those municipalities based on the request of the municipality. We still have the insurance through our town covers us all the way to that call and back. We're not operating under their rules. We're operating under all the same set of rules, whether we would act just like we were in Snow Hill, if we were in Pocomoke, or we were out in the county somewhere backing them up. It just streamlines the process that needed to be addressed. Our MOU that we had prior to was very old. This one, as you can see with the writing, it covers all of our bases. And it's really for, something that's quickly escalating and they need assistance that we can respond to that. So I've checked with all of our folks. We're good with it. And so I think all the municipalities are going to sign off on this. And they see this as a good thing, as do I.
Berlin already approved it. Ocean City is approving it tonight. I don't know when it's on Pocomoke's agenda. It's actually very standard to have, but we just noticed that a lot of times each jurisdiction will have another. So like Snow Hill will have with Pocomoke, it'll have it with the sheriff, it'll have it with Ocean City, it'll have it with the state police. And this is one way that we're all basically on one document together, that this is our mutual aid here. And so these are very standard and a lot of people, a lot of the jurisdictions just had older ones. So between the state's attorney, all the town attorneys here locally, and all the heads of law enforcement came up with an updated document, brush off the old one that was hanging around. And the old ones were kind of like between everybody, not everybody was sort of signing the same document, which doesn't make a difference. We just thought we all know each other so well here and we work together so well here. We can all do it on one document.
Chief, you answered the question, but just a little bit. Escalating situation, who on a duty has the responsibility for making that call? And it's a judgment call, I think, I mean.
Yes, yeah. Let's just use, say there's an active incident going on in Pocomoke, and that officer just gets on the radio in Pocomoke and says, I need help. That would spur a response from the sheriff's office, the state police, and us, because we're close. Doesn't mean Ocean City is gonna send a contingency down there. It's just whoever's closest is gonna go there. Same thing with us. If we were to call for help in town, the local jurisdictions could respond. We're still probably gonna follow the same protocol and say, hey, do you need me to respond? Because we're going. Now, obviously, if our officer's tied up, they're not gonna just drop what they're doing to go there. It's all gonna be about a balance. We probably will be the beneficiary of this MOU more so than any other agency, just because we're short-staffed and we'll get additional resources to us that we didn't have to, think about in the past. So, I think this isn't something that's gonna be abused. This is something that just makes sense. It's putting everything in one central MOU. As our attorney said, we had an MOU for parades. We had an MOU for special events. This puts it all under one umbrella. It just makes sense. It streamlines. We'll still do the requirements that if I need help for parades, it's still gonna be a letter sent to the town asking for whichever town we utilize, Berlin, Pocomoke. Ocean City used to come down here for the fair, with their horseback, so they may still do that as well. This just means they can do that. They don't have to go through a bunch of hoops and permissions. This is just something that it just makes sense.
And financially, if Snow Hill.
We pay for our own. So if we have to go down there, they're on the clock for whatever reason. If they come up there, Pocomoke is paying their guys. We're not paying for any of that.
Okay, I didn't know whether if the town requested it, then the town is responsible for paying.
It's an in-kind sort of thing because we send our resources down to Pocomoke for their parade and they send their resources up here for our parade. We benefit more so because Pocomoke only requests us for the parades. We request them for the blessing of the combine and our Christmas parade. So Berlin and Pocomoke are very good partners with us. They send us the help that whenever we need it. So, but that's more of a structured request. What this really addresses is the exigency of a request.
Okay,
It's something that's happening and we need help right now. You don't have to call the chief of police and say, can I go? You're going.
You're going.
Yeah, so they're covered under our umbrella wherever they go as a Snow Hill Town employee.
okay,
Page 3 addresses the cost. Each agency will bear its own costs incurred by acts undertaken pursuant to the agreement.
okay, which one is?
Page 3, Roman numeral 8.
Eight. All right, thanks. Councilperson Lumpkin, questions, you good? And Councilperson Fletcher, anything you'd like to ask?
No, he is, thank you.
Okay. All right,
Oh, that's cost.
the cost. Okay,
But just for the record, this will be on the next week's agenda for first week,
First Street.
be followed by second read in October. We'll take effect after that.
Okay. All right.
You're welcome.
Good, thank you. Okay, number 3, update on fees and fines committee regarding rental rates. And Randy, you wanna update us on that?
Sure. We go back to the table a couple of times on this, on fees and fines. And trying to get it in an order that is good for the people that are renting. But yet the town is not losing any money doing this. And we met last week, and Rick and Candace and the mayor and Councilman Fletcher was there at the meeting to finance with Linnell and Ron and him. And Melissa, and we sat down and went through all this again. And mind you, this is not, the town is not making any money on this. All this is so the town can break even on it. That's all it is. And if you look, you'll see where some of the ones have been changed.
Start with train station.
The train station, yeah.
Got it.
And if Rick or Mayor or Councilman Fletcher or Candace, anybody wants to step in on any of this, you are more than welcome to. But,
Train station's been changed. The fee,
So 350,
very effective.
that's for the public,
that's correct.
Yes.
and 175 nonprofit. And the deposits are the same, 150.
Right. That's pretty much self-explanatory.
And then the parks,
You get to the parks,
they stay the same,
Yes,
right?
they,
nonprofit is $150 per day. That's the deposit, the general public is about 50, and then the fee is $150 per day, and then $300 for general public, which is
Okay.
hard, it should be.
and general public was changed from profit to general public.
Right, that is correct. As I say, it's not, the town is not, I promise you, making any money on this at all. We're just trying to break even for all the expenses that it takes.
So, helping the train station. I see the ones that have been crossed through,
Okay, the ones that was there,
That's what's in the code today that we're striking out.
that's correct.
but I'm not sure where the new train station, trains.
Top of,
It's in the box, the
Top of
page
page
2,
It's over there.
at the top.
Oh, it's, okay, so there,
That's the new chart
got it.
taking place.
I'm sorry, I got a cheat,
Better
I
mark
got a
that.
cheat chart here. So I'm sorry.
And then the parks are both Burgess and Bird.
Mhm.
And then we have, further down, we have other rental
On page
related
3
fees
Page 3, correct.
on the chart.
on page 3, right? And so that's like the bandstand, the bathrooms, the basketball courts, et cetera. And how much they are per day.
and I will just add, this is when the packet came out, it's the first time I was seeing it for the basketball court. I don't think we can say see town hall, either there's a fee or not a fee. So if you don't want to charge a fee, don't charge a fee, but if we can't put in the code, see town hall.
Go ahead, you can.
So we had talked about, the basketball courts kind of having its own rental was problematic just because, most of the people that do rentals there, whether it's, one of the school clubs or anything like that, they'll have the pavilion, they want to use the park, right? They want to go play basketball, but the kids are going over there for a barbecue and that's part of it. And we said just renting the basketball court does not happen very often, whether it's, I think we had a tournament not too long ago, maybe a year or so ago. Where something like that, we had kind of said that would be an exception to close off just the basketball court, because we talked about if it's going to be something like that, it's going to be an event. So that would kind of fall underneath the event rental procedures where it's not a planned invite only. And you're expecting so many other people, so that would kind of fall underneath the event rental and not like a general rental thing. The seeing town hall, I agree, is problematic, but it was one of those things we didn't know. It's just kind of something that comes with the rentals, not exactly something that we wanna just rent that out for the day. Because it is part of the park. That's why, like, we wouldn't rent out the playground equipment, right?
Yeah.
So people go to the pavilion, having their family gatherings, thinking that they can have access to all those things, and we don't want to keep that, you know, don't want to keep that from the public, but I do agree that C Town Hall is problematic, but I think it was more of along the lines of per an event that would be kind of scheduled, where that would specifically kind of be blocked off for the thing.
I think if you want to include it as part of the park, I would just take it out. And not have it listed as all, just like we don't list the playground equipment that's there. That's there, it's not cornered off, so anybody could come use the basketball court, whether you're there for the planned birthday or the picnic or whatever. But just. If you want to treat it like the playground, I would just take it off here.
So then we just take it off altogether. And then if someone comes like Mr. Nick Burnell did the other year and had his event that he was having for his tournament for the kids for 4 weeks, they would, at that time, have it running or whatever they do, they would have the basketball courts and no one else, correct?
You could say basketball court for events or basketball court for tournaments. And put a fee there. So then that's the only time you would be charging a fee for the basketball courts.
Okay, well, let's decide which way we want to do it tonight, so we get this all situated for next Tuesday night.
And another thing we had,
Clears it up pretty well, so.
yeah, another thing we discussed, if the basketball courts were done over, then we knew it would be used more. So that's
And when
what.
that's done, we can go back in and raise the rent if you wanted it for a basketball tournament, if it started to be used for that. You know, you guys can go back. I mean, you can raise the amounts later. You should look at them every year, frankly.
Right.
Okay. So what, for an event rental on basketball court, how much do you want per day?
Do you know what we did for the tournament the last time? By any chance?
What do you have other than cleaning up, trash, picking up the trash and everything around?
Yeah, but I don't remember reading if, whereas for the children and stuff, I didn't know that we charged.
So the expenses are really very much.
Right. Cause, you know, it's for the kids and stuff like, you know. I don't know, it's whatever y'all think,
I wonder, this is my thought, because if it is a tournament, they're gonna charge teams.
no, we're gonna charge. We're gonna charge
Yeah,
them.
that's what I'm saying. So if they're already charging teams, then we need to put.
Absolutely, but I don't know that
Kind
we're
of.
gonna place y'all on charge, you know. It's always happened,
So it
it's only happened, that time. Maybe one other, that is the only one I can remember since I've been here in 11 years. That anybody just came to have it for just a tournament for that, you know.
Where, in terms of price range, where do you look to see? Or can you look to see how, when it's rented, tournaments, et cetera, what that is and kind of be guided by that? Cause we don't want to do something that's up here, or you don't want to do
Right.
something that's down here.
All right. I don't know what they charge right here for tournaments like that at all. If y'all don't mind me going out here, I'll go out here and make a phone call. And I'll find out. If y'all, I mean, I want to get this, something decided on this, and all these questions are good. I would like to get something decided on this tonight. If we could.
Do you know how much they charge?
I'm
No,
right now,
but my question is, when you're talking about things like this, mayor's round table, one of the members brought up the fact of fishing tournaments. We don't control the being able to put your boat over, but they said that they had a problem. Someone had rented one of the facilities and they couldn't park because there were so many cars there fishing. Fishing tournaments, we charge for parking. That's something else different.
That was down at Bird Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime you have an issue or anything like that, it's a Bird Park.
Is that a county fishing tournament?
I don't know what they
Do you know,
are. We
Melissa?
don't get involved in them, you know, the boat ramps are really for anybody,
For anybody?
you know?
So the last,
It's not hard. I don't know if, I personally don't know. Some of the people who's lived in this town all this time might know. Did the county put those boat ramps in? I'm gonna say they did. If so, then that would be a county boat ramp. It's gonna kind of be hard to block them people from using something that the county paid for.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if they did.
We've never closed the boat ramps,
Never
other than
closed
other than for flood.
Okay,
So, when there's an event, we still try to maintain a space so the boats can launch and be recovered. So
okay.
Now we have the thing this Friday at Bird Park. And we're gonna put up event,
Funeral?
yes, and we're gonna put up signs for event parking all the way around the park. But as far as that area over there. Then people can still use the boat ramp. Unless I'm told different. But getting back to the question on this here, as far as the rate to charge. With the, for basketball and all that.
Well, just
I,
hold
I
that
I know
thought.
down home and just for Little League, it's for your signups for that's like $35 a child. So,
For how long?
well, we end up playing for
2-3 months.
6,
Check with that.
8 weeks, but
Early Little
Weeks.
League's more
this
expensive.
tournament that they had down here was
It
something.
is, what is it? I would say, so please double that.
Double that?
I can search my email and tell you what I pay.
Okay, okay. You
Searching,
searching, Melissa, are you searching?
I
What
am
are you
as well.
finding?
I'm getting through their options right now. I will add that, the fishing tournaments, we've had conflicts before, and we'll have a couple of them give us a call. We had a fishing tournament that was just asking a DNR question, and they called, we were having a huge event there. And we told them that unless you're renting that park area, because it's not just the boat launch, it is the truck trailers, the amount of space that takes up, conflicts with whatever those rentals are. And this is where we do come into the problem that we don't have someone that's there on weekends to say, hey, you know, you can't be here. If we're having an event, they won't call ahead. They're usually private tournaments or, you know, but they don't think to call the town. For those kind of things. We've had a couple that was, I think, when the Worcester County, Chamber, when they were putting together a chamber, they did a fishing event and they went through the right procedures and rented out the space because they knew they were gonna take up a lot of space. But also something to consider when thinking about the basketball courts and the tournaments and thinking into your pricing. Those tournaments, whether adult or children, bring a lot of people, right? And that will prohibit that park from being rented that day. So that automatically shuts down whatever weekend that's gonna be on, because we don't do back-to-back rentals. On weekends, we do one rental a weekend because we don't have the people to clean up there afterward. So whenever those rentals are you know, if they would have, if suppose they were to have this, so take into your account for your pricing. That schedules out that weekend of being able to rent those facilities because it cannot be cleaned over and over again. So just take that into consideration. I'm still looking for the fees as well.
So Berlin Little League is $100 per child unless you do it early,
Do what now?
which I did, so
What you said?
$80. Berlin Little
Berlin?
League is $100 unless you do it early, which I did, and
Which
they give you a
is-
$20 discount, to $80
$80
per kid, and there's a lot of kids out there, in Berlin Little League.
And I
And
think.
their team's on good.
And that's not
all the time.
expensive for like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Snow Hills, I think is like 65.
65.
I think soccer in West Ocean City was somewhere in the 70 to 80 range, I would tell you.
So they would pay that one lump sum for 6 weeks possibly, right? Is that what we're talking about per child?
That's per child.
Per child.
Berlin Little League's 2.5 months.
Okay.
Is there a release that you would have to have drafted for injuries?
I'll just tell you because I have kids in sports, I sign a release for everything they do,
We
whether,
don't have that currently on any of our
like if
things
you
that we
are,
own.
Ocean City has, no matter if I do it, my kid's up there for things a year, I sign a release.
sign
Every
every
time
time.
Campy did, I signed a release.
That makes sense.
The private soccer on West Ocean City, the OCL that's run by the Christian Church, you sign a release,
You should.
all of it.
Yes.
If I could try to look, Town of Ocean City might have their like facility rental rates for courts on their website. So I'm gonna see if I can
You
find
look at that.
Right here, calls for sign up for Little League in Accomack County, Virginia. Can vary by league and season, but recent registration costs from $20 to $45. 2025. North Accomack Little League. That's one shop. If you have two, it's not quite as much. I don't know what they're doing in Berlin. I'm not trying to say you're wrong, because you're reading what they
No, I
got.
just read my receipt to you.
But I'm gonna tell you what it ain't no sense in that. That's just, I didn't know they gonna stamp was 78 cents diesel today. But that's just me.
I don't think we get many requests for tournaments there, though.
No, it's only been the one.
The one in 11 years.
The one, it's the only one I know.
Because most of them are happening, what, at the rec?
Rec
Center.
I think if you zero in on the daily usage, that they were gonna rent it.
And I don't even know that, Mr. Purnell, even, they had regular uniforms and all, they might have a jersey or something, not like the Little League with that pants, shirt, and a hat, they're paying for all that, you know?
Yeah, that's
So I
expensive.
don't even know if it's, what his cost was in it or whatever, you know, but it's the only one that I've known of, but whatever y'all decide, it's totally up y'all.
Okay, council, what do you think? What do you want to do?
Now,
Anybody have
mind you,
any
you still got
ideas?
to take and dump the trash and stuff like that, and all, and clean up.
I would either make it $100 like the rest of the other amenities, because we gotta sell the basketball court we got, and that basketball court's pretty much. So I'm not looking at jacking the price up on people. I don't think people are beating down our door, come at tournament.
Right.
I would either take it out and make it $100 as an amenity, but that, I don't see the point in raising it any further than that. I wouldn't hold it there.
Councilperson Watkins, is that his piece? Councilperson Fletcher, what do you think?
It becomes real nice.
Yeah,
I can throw out I found Ocean City's fee list
okay.
for a ball field, softball, baseball tournament, $215 a day,
Turn 50,
$215.
15.
Oh, well, theirs are updated.
Rectangle fields, soccer fields are $500 a day. Soccer, lacrosse, football field, that's prep. There's some other stuff on here like lights, scoreboards, there's like an add-on, so I'm just telling you what the fields are.
You rent the fields, it costs some
The
money.
East Gym is $135 per hour per gym. That's the indoor gym.
Okay.
And they have basketball tournaments there where they
Yeah.
shut it down. No one could go in except the basketball tournament people. Their setup breakdown costs, picnic shelter, Sunset Park. Outdoor basketball courts on 3rd Street that are recently redone, or 94th Street that's equipment rentals, $40 per hour.
It's really kind of hard to even compare Little League prices with renting a park out here, because you know why? They got to pay for a referee, the umpires,
Uh-huh.
basketball referees, all that is included, and you take Berlin, Ocean City. Now, those fields, it does take a lot to maintain those fields. I've been there, done that.
That's why it's expensive.
So I can totally understand that, so,
And that gets passed on to the people that are in the tournament.
I mean, y'all know the people in Snow Hill can afford in this area here. It's not like they're knocking the doors down to use it anyway, so. I mean, don't make any difference what they do in Virginia or Berlin or Ocean City as far as me, as far as that goes, just.
I would say 80 or 100.
Okay. Councilperson Lee, what do you think?
I yield.
For these two? Margaret? Which do you want? Both of you? Is that what he means? Okay, 100 or 80? You wanna do 90? Here we go. And the rest, 100, the bandstand's 100 per day, all of them,
Bathroom.
you need bathroom, all of them.
I gotta feel it now.
We have a bathroom. 100 per day, concession stand 85, street closure 130, alcohol.
I think it was 35 before I changed it.
It was 35 per day.
That's what
Yeah.
the,
Or the old,
Yeah, the
one
old
we have.
one.
Yeah.
I covered your expenses. Yeah, I agree with that. 80 to 100, which do you want? Margaret, what do you
Sure,
want?
desperate.
80? Or compromise?
Either I can compromise, but it. 100, more than 100 is too much.
Mhm.
I don't want to go too low. 80.
Right, I agree.
So,
80's fine.
she wants to do it.
You wanna do 80? For now, we can change it. We can change
Yeah.
it. Okay, let's go with 80
And
per day.
just one thing to add is that just because it's not exactly, are you seeing this as an add-on? So this is just if you solely wanted to use it because people, they add on the bathroom or if everybody can have access to the basketball courts and the rental, but this is solely if they were wanting to use the basketball courts. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you took that into your pricing is that everybody can use the basketball courts, but if they were only using it, this would be the price.
Yeah.
That's my understanding. Is that
I
correct?
just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
So if somebody rents the pavilions down there, they can use the basketball court if they like. If somebody else comes in off street, they can use it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. I just want to make sure that's straight on it.
Okay, we need to
Yep.
make sure that happens.
All good. I'm gonna get you $80 per day.
Okay. Do we need a sign off release of any type or kids plan? We can't,
I don't, if
They
the
run it.
tournament comes, everybody just needs to remember, we should do something different than we did in the past, i.e. have forms that we require the organizer to give to the kids. And they have to be submitted back before they can participate. But,
can we use
No,
somebody
it's not.
else's form?
oh yeah, you will have no problem getting you guys a form.
Okay, so we'll have forms, Melissa, sign if we have.
I have seen before
No,
tournaments that they have them for the teams.
Anyway,
They sign them, yes, before they play.
this what we're signing
They
was
don't
that
sign,
for,
If the town has any,
turn it into.
okay,
if the town has any tournaments that come, we'll have a form that the children, their parents have to sign for the children to participate in a tournament on our property.
and that means that they cannot hold the town liable if a child gets hurt, correct?
Correct.
Okay, very good.
okay. All right, D. Rental qualifies as an event, additional fees and expenses may apply, and additional paperwork will be required as noted below. And it has trash cans, picnic tables, wall or cocktail tables, chairs, public work, staff, base. Does that all look good? Anybody have any comments on that? Mr. Wayne, do you have any comments on that? No?
To be
You do.
clear for this, is when it says event, that means 100 or more people. Correct, right, Melissa? Isn't that what we said?
So it's not only 100 people, but if it's an open to the public event, it doesn't have to actually be 100 people. So it is open to invitation and it's open to the public with not a condensed list of, I'm having 50 people come. But if it's an open invitation, that is considered an event. If you don't know what the number of people that are coming or exactly who's coming.
Okay. All right, we good on that? Okay. All right, so I think that's it. Anything else you have to add to this?
Just thank everybody for a little help working on this, get it, so we can get it done.
Yeah, we thank all the
Appreciate
Finance and Fees Committee members and the director, Mr. Garfield.
So we should also have this for first reader next week.
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
I'll fix it up and send it back in final form.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you very much.
All right, moving on to number 4, solicitation of public donations as addressed by the ethics ordinance. So that's in your packet. And there's also in your packet, the town of Snow Hill alcohol entertainment application and permit. Do we need to review that?
That's a draft, application for the alcohol entertainment application permit that we revised. So any comments you guys have on it, feel free to give us. We
Okay.
still have more work to do on your rentals, but the first step was your fees. That's a big step. And this one, the chief looked at this one, Melissa, Candace. I did certainly,
And so,
The
do you
revised
need any
version.
comments from the council? Mayor and council on this?
I thought, did we say in the meeting about we were gonna check IDs? Melissa, was that on? I don't have mine with me.
order.
Yeah.
There it says method of checking IDs, like how the
Oh,
renter
okay.
is gonna check the IDs. Is that what you're thinking about?
For the,
No, the town. We were
So-
saying about.
Right.
application.
so when someone submits an application for the alcohol and entertainment, they have to provide an ID. They have to be the person that is renting the property that has to be there because they are the person that's taking responsibility for the alcohol that is being served. So we need to have a copy of their ID.
Do you want it down in this checkbox area? Is that where you want it for staff to know that you guys got it and checked it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then
Yeah,
if
that'd be a good idea.
need, attach, see if that's been. But it most certainly needs to be verified. Not just a name for chief to rent it, but also probably get a little simpler for if they had anything to review. So,
And it was also suggested, I think, Councilmember Fletcher, you suggested that the person submitting the application required to be at the event for the entirety of the
Right,
event.
yes, the whole
that's
time,
correct.
You have to stay the whole time.
if alcohol is being served.
And that's it.
No, no matter what.
No matter what,
The person has.
we
to
said they're
stay
supposed to
there
be, we were
the whole
fine.
time.
Supposed to stay
Has
there
to
the
be
whole
there.
time. They are the responsible person whether they're drinking or not.
Okay. And chief, you're good with this? As
Yes,
far as,
yes.
okay,
We don't get many. We don't get many permits, but when we did, we review them pretty well.
yeah, okay. All right, so go on to number 4. Okay, this is, chapter 16, ethics, public ethics, 16-4, conflicts of interest, and that big section we're looking at right now. Okay, all right, so, Attorney Howard, will you tell us what this, when you finish?
Sorry, I should take notes from what you guys said for the form.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a portion of the town's ethics code, chapter 16. If you guys haven't read it, read it in its entirety. But this section is a section on conflicts of interest. The first section will talk about participation prohibitions, for example, if it was one of your spouses or your children coming before us, or your old business partner, what you do in those situations, which would be recuse yourself. So it talks about all the different scenarios in which you might not be able to participate in an act. If you guys ever have any thoughts of those situations or ones upcoming, ask Rick first, call me first, and we can resolve it before we have any issue. So that's the whole first section's on participation conflicts. Further on page 2 talks a lot about employment and financial interest restrictions. So if you were in a business relations with somebody, and they wanted to become before council for the approval for buying a town property or renting, then if you guys had a financial relationship, that person, you shouldn't be making the decision. So that whole section talks about when you have to recuse yourself because of financial connection. A lot of the first part's like familial business, and now this section part is financial connection. So if anything ever comes up in that regard, maybe Margaret has a tutoring business. She works at school system. If she has a tutoring business on the side and her tutoring partner was coming before the board for an approval, maybe related to planning and zoning, and it popped up to you all, your guys' level, then Margaret would recuse yourself. There's post-employment limitations. I don't think we have to go into that. Then the use of prestige of office section. So this section basically says an official or employee may not intentionally use the prestige of office or their public position for the private gain of that official or employee or the private gain of another, or to influence except as part of the official duties of the official or employee or as a usual and customary constituent service without additional compensation, the award of a state or local contract to a person. One is the one that you would more focus on is an official may not intentionally use the prestige of their office or their position for the private gain of that official or employee or the private gain of another. That's really where the solicitation for funding comes in. And that's where you would run afoul of trying to raise money. Say you wanted a new playground in town, and you guys wanted to raise money for that. I would tell you all, no, the 4 of you should not be going out requesting funding for that. Although it's a great, noble, wonderful cause, that you guys should not go around because of your positions, soliciting funding for a town project. Say you are at your church and your church is raising money, canned goods and presents at Christmas for the underserved. That's a totally different thing. That's you privately doing something at your church or your organization, whatever you're involved in. But I would not go and solicit any money or anything for the town or in your capacity as an elected official.
So if, let's say, we needed more money for the basketball courts, I'm not just a regular citizen anymore. I represent, and these guys represent the town.
Yeah.
And so I can't go to someone, let's say a business that deals with the town in particular and ask them for a donation.
Correct.
Okay. Just want to make that clear.
Yeah, so it sets up a conflict of interest. You know, the next section talks about the use of public resources. So you guys, there's restrictions on how you guys use public resources. H talks further about solicitation and acceptance of gifts. You may not solicit any gift, directly or indirectly. Do not only accept a gift. Yeah. When it talks about not accepting gifts, ones that would intend to pair the impartiality and independence of judgment official, anything of significant value, which at this point I think is $20 is considered that. So it's a very low threshold dollar amount. There are certain instances where you guys can accept a gift. So like meals and beverages are consumed in the presence of the donor. But unsolicited gifts of nominal value, a ceremonial gift. Say they come ask you to speak at SU, or they come ask you as the council is in there to come speak at MML, and they give you like a plaque. That's okay. One thing Rick and I talked about is everyone around here goes to TAWS. TAWS is like considered a political event. And if you're paid there with food or beverages as a political event, that's okay. But if the Bank of Ocean City was having a get together and was inviting all the local officials to like schmooze them. That's a different story if they were to be giving you something that was over $20.
So when do the financial forms that we fill out for running, or every year we're supposed to fill them out. So we're supposed to list anything that we accepted over $20.
So all officials and town employees are required to do, if you did receive something over 20.
It's better to turn it down.
So, yeah, it's just disclosing it doesn't absolve you from you not supposed to have taken it in the first place.
Oh,
That doesn't,
that doesn't absolve you of it?
no.
No.
So if you're not supposed to take it, you don't take it. But say it's a meal and beverage consumed in the presence of a donor and that was over $20, and maybe that's something you put on your disclosure form.
Okay.
But most of the time that form should be blank. That part of the form, because you shouldn't have accepted.
Accept it in the first place.
Yeah. So that's essentially, but if you do ever anything or someone offers you something and you're not sure, ask Rick or I first. And we'll say yay or nay. And if it's a yay, but needs to be on the disclosure form, then we'll put it on your disclosure form. All the counties I ever worked for, we had to go through and check everybody's gift disclosure form of the year. Most everyone's would need to be blank. The only ones you paid attention to is someone who wrote something down. And then you have to see if it was appropriate or not.
Can I ask a question from real life?
Sure.
What about a company that you already have a contract with? For instance, my experience, in different places, the town engineers, for instance, when I was with Fruitland, George Miles and Buer would always offer us tickets to a Shorebirds game. Davis, Bowen and Friedel would offer us tickets to a Shorebirds game or an Orioles game. One before then was a fishing trip. Once a summer, we'd go out for fishing. Now, that was a company that we already had a relationship with, did regular on-call business. Now, this year, Davis, Bowen, Friedel offered us seats at a Shorebirds game. And because we were getting ready to have the bidding for the engineering services, I declined them. Because I knew that wouldn't be appropriate.
Yeah, so the only time a gift or tickets of free admission is allowed, it says extended to elected local official. So 1, you're not elected. And then 2, to attend a charitable, cultural, or political event. So Paul's would be like the political event. The cultural event that I always thought of that came up in all my jurisdictions is the Martin Luther King banquet. So is that to me is a cultural event. What was Salisbury doing the last couple of years? That big, it's not a fair, but it's folk festival. That is like a cultural festival. They teach you about all of the different, the watermen, the farmers, water, there's performances by all sorts of cultures. That's a cultural event. And if someone had you come to present something as the mayor or the king, the neighboring county, to me, that's a cultural event. A charitable event makes sense if someone invites you as the mayor to come to the Worcester County American Cancer Society charity walk. Maybe you were personally affected by it and they asked you to come to speak at that, and they didn't make you pay the entry fee to come do the walk. I think that would be something that's there. I don't know that baseball games are either charitable or political.
But they're sort of cultural.
And whether they're cultural to me is debatable. So if you really guys wanted to do that, I would go look at AG opinions, an ethics code, opinions on the state level to see if that, I agree with you about that, but that's my personal opinion. Legal opinion. I wouldn't accept those tickets.
What about town staff though? Is it just to elected officials?
So an official or employee may not accept the
Employee?
fine. Yes.
Okay. Where does it say that? Because you all sign it too. Oh, I see it. Or a person that
it's in there.
employs
And that's because, for example, everyone sitting here could be involved in the decision to recommend the engineer to you all, to recommend a contractor to you all.
Right.
Those are big dollar sums and they shouldn't be accepting tickets or gift cards to restaurants or whatever else it may be. because they are involved, especially in your guys' small community, they're involved in helping you make those decisions and recommendations.
What if they're just general admission, because that's under $20?
That just, you have to think about first, what's prohibited, right? What's prohibited first, and then you could accept something, a gift of nominal value of $20 for trivial items. I don't think a ticket to an event, if it's $19.99, is necessarily trivial. Think about why are they giving it to you?
If they think that I'm gonna sign off on their contract for a $15 ticket, then they're probably crazy.
But you think, why are they approaching you to give you the ticket and not Joe Smith walking down the street?
Still don't want short tickets, right?
Pretty short for tickets.
All right.
Most of the time, if you call me, answer me, I'm gonna tell you no, that I don't think you should.
Could I throw one more on the table?
Yeah.
Again, this is real life and it's pending on the table now. We talked a little bit about it last week. Royal Plus has taken over as the primary sponsor for Ocean City Bike Week, which is a huge event. We've had meetings with them about possibility of having a significant stop in Snow Hill next year as part of that overall event, where it could be comparable to Blessing of the Combine, street closures and events and vendors and the whole 9 yards. We've been approached with a suggestion that we be provided VIP tickets for selected staff who would be involved in that to go over and see how it works, so that we could then talk about what we should be prepared for and understand about the event as we apply it to Snow Hill. And we talked earlier last week and we came to the conclusion, just to avoid any appearance of any kind of impropriety, we should just go ahead and buy the tickets. But I didn't know what, if any, exceptions are there, I guess is the.
And I mean, these are the exceptions. You may accept meals or beverages consumed in the presence of a donor, ceremonial gifts of insignificant monetary value, unsolicited gifts of nominal value that do not exceed $20 and cost for trivial items of information. I don't think Bike Fest is a charitable, cultural, or political event. A gift from a person that is by blood or marriage, because I guess people were asking about that. Honoraria for speaking at an event, and to me, that's like the plaque, the key to the city, that kind of.
Well, and that's the key. I think it's not only the letter of this, but the spirit of the law as well. We want to avoid not only doing anything inappropriate, but the appearance that it could be seen as inappropriate. And so the safe thing is always to say, no, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to send things back as a county secretary, thank you so much, but I can't accept this, but I really appreciate you thinking of me. Yeah. Most of the time, people are doing it out of goodness of their heart, not knowing that the rules you have to follow. The best thing I can say is if you ever have a question, do not do anything until you call and ask first, so you don't get yourself in a pickle.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. Anybody have questions? No? Okay. All right, reports from council liaisons. All right, Councilor Lena, with your liaisons and bring us up to date on what you've been working on. So, Councilperson Fletcher, you want to start?
Name Randy, last month and a half, probably. We met, we rode around town. We checked out the line, behind the middle school, which that ditch is
Okay.
overflowing. That causes the overflowing to Market Street, to the nursing home. And that is county property. We looked at it all the way around.
Okay.
Um,
I told the superintendent about that.
good.
Yeah, she said she would check into
The
it.
next day, there was a big snake on that bridge.
And I told her about the
She
snake.
just fell
Yeah,
across.
told her about the snake on the bridge too.
So we checked that out. We, looked at, possibilities of how a sidewalk could go along from that street, Maple, all the way down to the bus stop at the end.
Okay.
What else did we help? We looked at the, over, limbs hanging over, blocking, views and different spots in town. We know Ross Street, the corner of Ross and Covington Street is one. The corner of Federal and Church Street is another. Church Street and Martin Street. There was one more we saw.
You had the one on Mars. Where you have all the, fragmites coming out the road. Then you had the one at Covington,
Yeah, it was Morris. That's what I did.
Covington and Ross.
Morris and Martin.
Now. And we've done it, there's something here. It started off, you're supposed to be, the citizens, that's their property. They're supposed to keep their own stuff back. If they didn't do it, then they were finding it had to where they had a certain amount to cut it, time to cut it. If they did not cut it in that time, then we would go cut it, they would be charged for the time, equipment and all that. The prior administration, it did not work out well because they didn't, never happened. So they just told us when it's like it anyway, because if the town owns the street, or he owns his property and the man's next door to him, his trees hanging over, he can cut what's hanging over his property, they can't say a thing about it. Basically come up, same thing. Town owns the streets, if there's stuff's in the streets, you cut them, let it go. We're not gonna charge them. So that's what we've been doing. And these properties are gonna be done, I'm gonna cut them. Now, the one with Martin and Church, the town does not own the sidewalk. So unless it's hanging out in the street, I can't cut it. On the other hand, on Church Street side of Martin, that's between the state and now. And I've been there with them about that, and that's been addressed 2 or 3 different times. As far as that intersection at Martin, you cannot see. Covington and Ross, you can't see. And to get that and get it done right. The last time they sent us on, this is first administration. The mayor told us to go there and you cut it on their side. That's what we had to do, because the city's growing in that fence. And the only way you can get it cut is you got to go on their side of the property. Now, if y'all say, yeah, we can do it, then you're gonna be responsible if they come out there and get fired up.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Cause, Ed Phillips, he has those trees out front of his house and they were cut.
I've already talked to the state, if Mr. Phillips come to me and ask me about it.
Yeah.
Those trees on his side, they come like you want. On the town side, they need to be cut as well to get out of the power line, whatever and all
Yeah.
that. So I've already talked to the state. And of course, the state doesn't cut any of them. It's, that's what, yeah.
Did you ever call about
I
that?
gave it to Randy. yes.
Oh, okay.
And they, and I talked to, Tony. Tony got the guys to meet me out there and I showed them and they'll get them cut.
I think the
Yeah.
problem Ed had with it
It's
is
good.
that he didn't plant those trees to town.
No, they
planted those
didn't.
trees.
The town didn't, I'm gonna get it straight one time.
Okay.
The town has not planted any trees other than in a park
Okay.
or on Green Street,
In the last.
or that bunch they had on Washington Street was a state road and the state made them take them out.
Okay.
The trees that has been planted in this town, and this came right straight from Miss Ann Coates and others that has lived here all the way, and even Councilman Lee or Councilman Fletcher right now, I don't know. Years ago, the, not the Lions Club, what's the other club?
Rotary.
The Rotary, they went around and planted. And you take and go to Church Street right today, and I have even showed Councilman Fletcher, certain people. In between the sidewalk and the street, they're planting trees today, the property owners are. And they're gonna grow to be big trees.
Yeah.
You never, ever, ever do that. It gets in the sewer, it gets in the, it goes in the sidewalk, I really don't care about, because they don't belong to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But the town did not plant these trees and people use that to get us to cut them.
Okay. Thank you.
unless I'm told to by the mayor and council, other than what's hanging out in the road, that is hitting school buses, our trash trucks, all of our stuff, the town pays so much money for, we will cut that stuff so it's not 13.6 is legal height
Okay,
for any truck going in.
because I
So
know
it
that,
should be 4, and I'm gonna tell you, when I come,
Mhm.
I'm cutting them back, they'll not be cut again. When I cut the first ones 11 years ago,
Yeah.
we haven't had to cut them again.
I got
I'm
one,
gonna cut them back for enough, you ain't worried about it.
I got one for you, right across from Ed Phillips' house over there, old Castellano's house,
Cross me at Phillips.
Yeah.
On Market Street,
on Market Street.
it's not mine,
It's not
State
sure.
Highway,
Market Street,
All
State
of
Highway.
that.
Market
Yeah,
Street,
it's State
and
Highway.
I'm not being, and really, I'm not being that way.
Yeah.
Bay Street, Market Street, Church Street,
Mhm.
State Highway.
Okay,
And look, I'm not being that way when I say the town, we didn't plant any of these trees, but every person here, they'll try to use that
okay,
to get the town to cut it, for nothing.
okay.
Okay.
Sound good?
Anything else?
The water meter,
Water meters.
not water meters. Well, yeah, it is the part where the water meter sits
Too much
inside.
meter pit.
Yes,
Mhm.
the meter pit, some of those. I had a couple of people call me in the last 2 days. About a couple of them in the yards, they're not sitting like they should,
Not sitting flush.
and something's gonna happen. This, one of them is on, is actually on the Market Street. I think it's along Market Street. That needs to be, but I'll get it, I'll have it written.
All you got to do,
Down at home.
you get me the address. Just send it to town hall or whatever, give it to Melissa. She'll get it to me, of the house and the address, we'll go by and we will lower the meter pits like we're supposed to be, because we just have to dig them up, cut them off, put the lids back on top and cover them back up.
Did you ever get the one on Federal? In front of Burbage? I think.
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot
that's down.
more
You,
road
that's
over
something I was
top.
told about
Yeah.
that. We go to them right then, because people have a tendency when they're, a lot of times, when they're, I don't know why they do it. I don't know why anybody allows a water meter or sewer to be put in a driveway. That's one thing. But that's happened ever since I've been here. People running over. There's in people's yards when they're down flat. People pulls up, they won't park in the road or on the driveway they're supposed to. They're gonna park on the road or in the yard. Then they run over them and they're caving the lids in time. Then that's something we gotta go fix or whatever, but the ones that are sticking up need to be fixed. So you get the address, get it from Melissa, whatever, and we'll take and we'll fix it.
And good job for you on, the leak on Market Street. But it's gonna happen again, 'cause those trucks are steady down, right across from the police station. That same spot, you can tell.
Mhm.
It's gonna happen again. I don't know
Now,
what
what's
we
gonna happen
do about it.
as soon as,
It's the heavy trucks that are
it'll make a
running
difference.
across.
They ain't gonna hurt. They ain't gonna hurt. They've been riding on these for years, but as far as that thump like that or whatever, it's probably annoying. But I will have scheduled, because we gotta do a lane closure permit for state highway and all that, to have it. It's all gonna be milled out. Because they changed the state has changed their codes and stuff for us working on state highway. And it's gotta be milled out to their specs and all, and then it'll be covered up like it's supposed to be. But one reason is when we repair them like that, when these lines are so old in this town, when we repair them like in other towns, it's not just Snow Hill. We let them normally wait a good 4 or 5 weeks or whatever before we do anything to them to make sure it's not gonna reoccur. Because you got a bad spot here, over here somewhere, you got another one, it can be long before it's gonna go. And that's just how they are.
And good for the chipper. The chipper's starting back. Yeah.
Well, we've gone, let's see, Monday was a holiday, that's
Mhm.
yesterday is when we were supposed to have done it.
I know it's been down. But
Yeah.
I'm
So
saying
now it
good
fell
job
on
for
to
getting it done.
this Wednesday is when we gotta take and do it. If it had been on Thursday, it would have been the following Monday, with a holiday. Just like a free cycle song. But they will be going tomorrow. And just so y'all know, there's a little bit of confusion on, and it's no big deal, on the day they were supposed to be picked up. It's supposed to be tomorrow, like they're gonna be picking it up on Wednesday. Some people think it's next Monday. So if they happen to see we're out then, we're not doing special favors for nobody. It's just cause it's just a misunderstanding and it's all fine. Everybody makes a mistake. It's no big deal.
And speed bump.
The speed bumps now, Chief Andy McGee, he'll be here Friday morning around 9 o'clock, you said.
Yep.
I don't believe it. And him and I was gonna go and he's gonna show me where he's wanting them at and then we'll put them in.
Right.
I think you'll be here at 8:30.
I think that's all we
Is
have.
that it? All right. It's person Lumpkins.
B and C had a great talk earlier.
Okay.
Looking at like October 1st is gonna be their final full move-in date. Just getting some things straightened out with their, cybersecurity, and their fiber work.
Mhm.
And, Chief's got up and coming meetings with, the local property managers for some of the apartment complexes. For proactive solutions for addressing some of the community concerns. It's a beautiful facility over there. They've done a lot. Looks great. All things
Looks
being
good.
up and up.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you. Councilperson Lee.
Yes, I met with my new partner. We
Okay.
had a great meeting. I think a copy of ditto and what I heard Rick say he has hit the ground. And, on the eastern end, we don't have all of those specific kind of problems that we have, but there were a couple issues, one issue, two issues, one of them was mine. And another one that he's taking care of, out of the, what's the name, on Washington, no. 207, 206.
To a seven, South Washington. The historic district commission denied their application to screen in their porch. That's what that one you're referring to.
No, I'm referring to Bay Street, no, what? No,
So Warner property.
yeah, overhang.
Yeah, it's a problem, that they were cited, they were given a sort of certified letter to cut back the sidewalk. It's a very narrow sidewalk to begin with, and so they got growth encroaching upon that width, and they had trees and branches coming down over the sidewalk, which is I think the standard is 8 feet. So they were given a letter and given till Friday to correct it. My inspection today, it shows that it's not corrected, so we'll have to do some follow-up action.
We talked and shared what I believe the mayor's especially was a great opportunity for the council to become knowledgeable of the departments. But my role with working with him is to support what he wants to, where he is to this council. And, like I told him, I'm not going to tell you how to run your business. I want to know what you want to do. So what's the plan? What he basically says is, I'm just getting started, just getting my feet on the ground. And, let's take some time. We did set up that we're going to meet monthly. And at the next month meeting, we'll have some more relevant things to talk about.
Good start. Yeah.
And I
Great,
will
guys.
say, I just introduced myself and we talked for a few things, but some of the same concerns, he's willing to work with people and, figuring out some stuff. And I think it's great what he's doing. He's looking and he wants our town to look good.
Yes. Yeah. Good, good to hear. Thank you for all of that. That's very informative. Okay, comments from the public. Okay.
I mean, maybe it's just a fact I live on West Federal Street. I have a question as a member of the ethics committee. What you talk about the $20 fee and such. I'm involved with several different organizations and whatnot in town. And if I served on the council or served as an employee, and I use my other association organizations solicit money. So I fall under town ethics, is that good?
So I think what you're asking is, say you work for the Rotary and or don't work, you're a member of the Rotary and you're doing a charity fundraiser for something for the Rotary. There's no issue with that. You're going around as you yourself for the Rotary saying the Rotary is doing a fundraiser and is collecting canned goods or is collecting funds to what's something the Rotary does? Backpacks for schools?
Yes, backpacks for schools and flags, find
And
flag for
breast
heroes and, yeah, all that.
We're looking for funding or people that would donate flags for our flag program. You're doing that for Rotary, just like I mentioned them if they were.
But
doing
you
the
would need to
fundraiser.
identify yourself that I'm coming before you for the Rotary, not for
Correct.
the township.
You wouldn't even mention anything about Snow Hill. Frankly, most people won't even know that you're on the Ethics Commission. You're not asking any for money for anything for the Ethics Commission.
No, but I mean, if it was a council member that did that, who's involved in other organizations.
Yes, and I advised them on that. If they were doing a church fundraiser or Rotary or Lions Club, and they were doing something for Lions Club, this doesn't prevent them from doing something. But if I was them, I would be very hesitant to solicit money for anybody, frankly, for anything, because people are gonna have a hard time separating these four individuals from this elected position that they're in. I thought you were asking me about you as
No,
a
no, no.
commission member.
No, I don't fall under that.
Okay. You do fall underneath the ethics code, just so you know, as a commission member.
Yeah.
But these four have a harder job to do distinguishing themselves from their role. And say they were on Rotary and they went to Royal Plus and Royal Plus gave them $500 for the Rotary and then has to turn around and come in for the council or say a zoning action. It just doesn't work. And that's where they have to be mindful is support your organization in a different way, be the setup person, the cleanup person, be the person there running the event, not the money, not the money.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, comments from council, Councilor Lee, anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, Mayor, I sent a letter to copy my colleagues on. Have not had a chance to talk to them about. Made a misjudgment and sent in the first letter, written. I was calling in a favor regarding an issue that started with in my district, and that is the comprehensive plan. But when I realized what I had done, it did not specifically, it said it was signed by me as the council person for my district, but it could give the appearance that it was for the town. So I canceled it. But
And you sent it to these two.
I sent them copies. Okay. But we haven't had an opportunity to even talk about it, based on the fact that we can't talk. Number one. Number two,
Is this a comment? Or is this business? Well, let me see where it's going.
Okay.
And then I can chime in if I need to.
okay. I want to open a conversation for us working together. I think that there's no question that we are on the same page, but with different, I don't know what, I can't say, I don't, conversations or approaches or as opposed to talking to one another. And then, you know, it's, I feel useless sometimes. I really do. You know, I know that we cannot talk to one another. I sent them a letter. I haven't called either one of them. I haven't talked to them about it, so let's be clear about that. Okay? But I think we've got to talk to one another. This is a issue that I'm concerned with, that I'm gonna keep working on. If I just have to work on it, in the Eastern District, then I'm gonna work it there. And then it's gonna bleed over. But it's gonna bleed over anyway, you know, you can't do something in one district and not in another. And so I don't know how to deal with it. I just want to, you know, we've got to break down some barriers here.
So we've had discussions about the Open Meetings Act, and you guys, because there's 3 council members, 2 of you creates a quorum, so if there wants to be a topic of discussion, it's gotta be on one of these work sessions, and say it's about the comp plan, say it's about inviting someone to speak to the town about the comp plan. Say it's, whatever the topic might be, needs to be submitted into the mayor who creates the agenda, and we'll put it on a work session like tonight. Frankly, you had updates, from your council liaison session, so you can share information, concerns you have. So we can't treat the Open Meetings Act as a barrier because it's meant to inform the public and keep the public informed. And you gotta take these work sessions and put the topics on that you need to have discussions, the rental fees, mutual aid agreement, boats, docks, piers, whatever, the comp plan, whatever it is that you would like to have a discussion about your colleagues on, you know, we need to do that here together.
Fine. I think that, but do we want to do that? I mean, you know, I don't want to keep going one way, feel like I'm by myself and then the world's against me and woe is me. I don't deal with that, you know? I just got to do what has to be done. But then some people may feel, well, he's not on the ball team. He's going his own way. That's not it. I realize the importance for me in this community of that comp plan. And then you're not gonna wait until the last minute to start talking about it.
And so I think if you have an idea that you wanted to invite someone to speak about the comp plan, I would submit that to the mayor and Rick and say, hey, I've got this idea, or I have this connection with a person and I want them to come before the council.
But I think just in terms of that being a positive conversation, before anybody comes in, we need to talk. And how do we, as council and mayor, come together to have a frank and open discussion of what was, what is, and what we want. And what we want is the thing that we want to get to so we can take our energies. I know a lot of people. I've got people that just like I did with the, why not bring those people and use them to do what we want to do?
I don't know that any of your colleagues would probably object to any of that. It's just, you guys have to do it at an open meeting because of the situation. It's different than being in private business where you could call a meeting, you could do that, you could do something on your own, you could invite somebody, you could do whatever you wanted by, you know, you guys have to be very mindful of the Open Meetings Act. It's 2 of you triggers it, adding your colleagues to an email about a town business triggers Open Meetings Act. So, and then doing something on your own, obviously send some sort of representation that maybe you're acting on behalf of the body. And you can't do that if you actually haven't come and talked to your colleagues about it. So
But
I'm being appropriate reference, that work session, work session.
I just want to be clear. I sent them every piece of everything that I have talked about when I realized it.
Yeah, but the thing is to not have done it in the first place, right? I think you already know that. Bring it first, inform your colleagues first. See if they're,
This is the first time that we've, in
Okay.
one of my second year, first time when we've been able to have come, and it takes time to get to these things, you know, to get to these places. But I just think that we are at a place now that we, as council, mayor and council, we've got to realize that we got to come together on this thing, you know, and the rest of the stuff. But this is so very important for this town.
yeah, I think everybody agrees with you. The comp plan is very important.
Yeah, very important.
Can we,
Okay.
Mayor, can we put this on the agenda for a work session?
You can submit it, sure.
Okay, Rick, I'll submit.
You can submit it. The thing is that I feel that emails sent to just the council members is about town business. It's not the right way to go. And I think we need to listen to the attorney and work in work sessions. Our communication should be always in work sessions. That's the best way to go.
I'm good with that. Let's have, as long as we have the work session, as long as we have the sessions, I'm good with it.
And that what you're proposing isn't something that, goes, beyond things that have already been addressed. So just be careful of that. We've already addressed,
For example,
like, for instance, if you said something about the fines and fees that we had already discussed it, but you wanted more discussion. I don't know that that is always, an extension. We've done that. Been there, done that.
done that, right.
We need to move on because the town, yes,
Yes.
constructively,
Yes.
we need the
Yes.
town to move
Oh,
on.
I'm on board.
I'm glad to hear that. All right, Councilperson Lumpkins,
No, I'm good.
you good?
Yep.
Councilperson Fletcher, how are you?
I'm cool.
You good? I just want to say that, we had a first day of school, today in Worcester County. As many of you that are grandparents or parents know that, and, the Rotary Club went to, was asked by Josh Hemborsky, the new principal, at Snow Hill Middle, and, we had a great opening. We had a great day. Kids were all cleaned and had all their supplies. And how about at the elementary school? Were they good? Coming in somewhere?
We had
Too
some snot,
excited.
we had some excitement, we had some clinging, we
Yeah,
had it all, but we made it through our day.
Yeah. well, it was so funny that, the fourth and fifth graders want to come up to you and hug, saying welcome, and they're like, oh, God,
That's middle.
But they liked it. They liked it. So it was a great day. Do we have any traffic? Do we have any problems? Huh?
No issues.
No issues. So it was a good day then, a beautiful day. So I want to thank the whole community and staff. It was just a great day. Yeah, for everybody. Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.